Well, good morning. This is, in Holy Week, the day we call Maundy Thursday. It's a day in which we remember that Jesus prepared for a Passover meal to eat it with his disciples. The day in which we remember that Jesus instituted the meal of communion, which Christians continue to take to this day. Which we remember his wrestling with in prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane, and his surrender and submission to his Father's will, praying, not my will, but yours be done. It is the day in which we remember his betrayal by Judas, and the beginning of his long ordeal in earnest, as he is arrested and he is put on trial late into the evening on into the early hours of Friday morning. So this is a dramatic day, a hugely significant day, and a day that in the church calendar we call Maundy Thursday, or the church is called Maundy Thursday. Why that? What's a Maundy? Not Monday, Thursday, Maundy Thursday. Well, what does that mean? Well, it comes from the Latin, of course. Maundy comes from the Latin mandatum, which in English we would translate, and you can kind of hear it there, like mandate. Mandatum it comes from, well, the English word would be commandment. So you could call this Commandment Thursday. Commandment Thursday. Well, where does that come from? Why Commandment Thursday? The answer to that comes from the words of Jesus in the upper room in John. The Gospel of John, writer John records for us in John 13:34. Jesus said to his disciples as he was eating the Passover supper with them, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another." A new commandment I give you. Jesus commands his disciples to love one another. And he does so in the context of a particular definition of love and a particular standard for love. This love is not whatever we want it to be, but it is love as defined by Christ and defined by Christ's sacrifice. So Jesus says, "As I have loved you, so you must love one another." In other words, Jesus says this is what love looks like. This is what the definition of love is. It says, "I have loved you." And how has Christ loved us? Well, this is in the context of communion. He is going to say to them, "This is my body broken for you. This is my blood shed for you." This is in the context of Jesus being about to die for his disciples. Jesus, who said, "Greater love has no man than this, that he lay down his life for his friends." This is in the context of Jesus sacrificially loving us. And in that context, Jesus says, "As I have loved you, laying down my life, seeking your best interest, even at cost to myself. As a servant, the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." This is what love looks like. As I have loved you, powerfully, but sacrificially, as a servant. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. So Commandment Thursday combines these two things. One comes first, which is Christ's love for us, his love for you. He has loved you. And in that context, he says to us, "Now I command you, love like I have loved you." So this is Commandment Thursday. And I want to today then ask you to do two things. One is to take a few moments, even as this ends, to pray. And to pray that both Christ would open your heart again, anew, freshly, to the love that he has shown you. That throughout this day, I'd encourage you just to be meditating on the love of Christ for you. Pray that Christ would reveal to you in a fresh way his love for you, and pray that Christ would enable you to love like he loves. That's love for one another in the church. That's also, that he would enable you today to love the people in your house that you're with, or the people that you're going to see today, in whatever way you can, to love them again as Christ has loved us. And then I'd encourage you to join us for service tonight, or to gather in your homes for a service, a Maundy Thursday service tonight. To take a few moments and to remember Maundy Thursday with the resources for worship that we are going to be putting up tonight. And so continue throughout this week to remember and to celebrate these dramatic events, these climactic events, these saving events in which Jesus Christ came as the Savior of the world, gave his life for us, and taught us how to love, and then commanded us in his grace and in his power to do so. So, may you know the love of Christ, and may you, by his grace and in his power, love as he loves. Amen.